not a one-way street. This sort of parental alienation that we're witnessing in this case is it's across the board. Women do it to men, men do it to women, grandparents do it to the parents of, you know, it's across the board. It's happening all over the place, and it happens in all kinds of families, and it's certainly not unique. And it is like probably the number one reason that I decided to dive into this case, because I saw a mother being severely alienated and the father using social media to do it. And I just think that that's wrong. I think I've been very clear in saying that none of us really know what's happening with this child. If she's being abused in that way, physically abused at all, none of us know that. We don't know that. That's up for the legal experts to decide. That's up for a psychologist to decide. It's not up for us to decide. So we don't know. But what I do...
She just said that no one really knows what happened, yet on her live stream, Kay keeps allowing a narrative that the dad abused the kid or that the kid wasn't really abused. I mean, if it was my live stream, I'd insist on having some control over what was said on it. I mean, either she supports the things that are repeatedly said on her live stream, or she just can't manage it properly.
And I find the dad podcast to be so hypocritical, because he had no problem going on a YouTube channel where with Annalise, when she exposed the little girl's medical records, read them out loud and suggested that she had an STD. That's okay. And number one, if your child has been molested, and this is any parent out there, wouldn't you take them to therapy? Why has he not taken this child?
Without a doubt.
Who says that she's not in therapy? I mean, you can't complain about medical records being leaked in one breath, and then in the next breath, bitch about medical care the kid is or isn't receiving. I mean, you shouldn't know if she's in therapy or not. That's the whole point, okay? So if you don't know, then that's a good thing.
Yeah, so true.
And, yeah, but they don't seem to want to get what's right, you know? And, you know, of course, the government, CPS, sane nurses, and all that, they're in it. They got to have a paycheck, so they got to have cases, you know?
Sane nurses need victims for paychecks? Oh, no. Someone did not just suggest that sane nurses are lying about the things that they're finding in their exams, or that there are victims out there of these horrific crimes because they're worried about their next paycheck. Oh, my God. Oh, what is wrong with you people? Like, for real.
You know, what do you do when somebody is just won't let go? Creepy. It's like I said, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for him that he's this cringy. It's so cringy. Like, Will, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Like, whatever it is I did that made you mad, that hurt your feelings, that hurt your pride, whatever, I apologize. Like, I'm sorry. But what you're doing is weird.
Channel.
No, Will's not welcome here. I'm not. Here's the thing. I do not have to, as a woman on social media who puts myself out there, I can choose who I subject myself to. And I do not have to subject myself to an abusive man. I don't have to do it. He's an abusive human being. And what he's doing is coercion. By him saying, I'm going to keep going at her and I'm going to keep harassing her and I'm going to keep doing this until she stops talking about what I want her to stop talking about. That's a threat. That's coercion. He's not welcome on my channel. And it's not because I'm afraid of him, and it's not because I'm a coward. And look, the queen doesn't come when summoned. I don't get summoned by little impotent men and come running to their channels. That's not how I operate. And he knew I was going to say no. He knew that I wasn't going to show. I had date night with my kid. We watched Walking Dead and decorated the Christmas tree. But the queen doesn't go running when she's summoned.
If someone is actually bothering you on social media, the first thing you do is you stop antagonizing them. You stop trying to incite them to keep talking to you, about you, and coming at you. However, what he's doing is not harassing you. What he's doing is commentating about a show, about another commentator. That's all he's doing. You are not actually trying to get someone to stop harassing you. You are trying to control the narrative. You are trying to control how someone sees you, how they describe you. So when you cry harassment and abuse, what's really happening is you are trying to abuse the system and use it to actually harass someone else because you don't like what they're saying about you.
Mark, welcome back.
Kay, I think you need a restraining order on Will. He's getting he's beyond psycho.
Engaging him. I want him to leave me alone. Merc, do you think it's outrageous? What do you think about myself as a YouTuber? I have another YouTuber who is being a persistent and stalkerish and won't leave me alone. Do I have the right to ask to be left alone?
Yeah, but if he don't leave you alone, like, get a restraining order, I guess.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you, because you could tell him 3 times. What is it like? Leave me alone. This is harassment. And if they message you again, you say the same thing, and then bam, that's enough for a restraining order.
I mean, I don't want
But
anything
if
to do
he's
with
streaming you,
Nothing.
if he's streaming you, that's not a lot to get a restraining order on. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody talking about you or like streaming you, like they have to be like harassing you in their inbox constantly. And
Someone saying that they're not going to stop talking about what you're talking about is not a threat. Stop being such a victim. If you are that easy to feel threatened, then you shouldn't be on YouTube. If someone talking about you causes you this much fear, then you think you'd stop giving them reason to talk about you, because all you're doing at this point is making a spectacle of yourself and trying to ruin the reputation of someone else who is commentating about what you're doing as a commentator. If you want to be weak like that, then go be weak offline. A threat would be if he said, well, if she's not going to stop talking about it, then I'm going to show up at her house or in her face. That would be a threat, okay? A threat is not him saying, if she is not going to stop talking about it, then I am not going to stop calling attention to what she's saying about it. That is not a threat. And F you to whoever said that you need a restraining order against this dude. He has done nothing at all to give you any kind of fear or feeling of unsafe in any way, shape, or form. Stop abusing the system and the things in place to help people who are actually victims and who are actually being harassed.
I don't know, but see, this is it. Like, I want the peasants to show, and they won't show.
Here's what I see about an hour and a half into the stream. I see a self-proclaimed queen sitting there on the panel, blowing whistles and making a mockery of herself, begging for the peasants to show up and give her attention. What I see is someone who's got the roles reversed. A peasant in denial is what I see.
I find it problematic that Kay is doxing people and going to those levels to dox
She has
people.
never been doxed, Justice.
Okay, wait
never.
a minute. Go down with the vulgarity, because I like to get ads and I can't if there's too much swearing. So no more vulgarity.
I'm swearing, Kay.
No more vulgarity. Let's keep that to a minimum. What? All right.
Okay, I apologize.
What's this with what now am I being accused of?
Doxing people.
What does it mean to dox? Somebody please tell me that. I would love, but hold.
She has doxed people. We have seen this. It's very telling when someone commits acts but can't take ownership of those acts. If you facilitate in the act of obtaining and sharing someone's personal information online for malicious reasons, then you are doxing them. If you're going to dox people, then you should have the balls to own up to it. If you can't own up to it, well, then maybe you're not grown up enough for the internet. Examples of her doxing are: the doxers are rolling in hot off the presses. Call the manager's office and pretend you're a repo to get the information. I need her address now. Why doesn't someone drop it in chat? Use an alternate account. Why doesn't someone go to the page or to the group or whatever and drop it? Use an alternate account. That's doxing.
I don't worry about it. It don't, trust me. I don't lose sleep over it. But I just feel like if you got something to say, come say it. Defend myself.
You can't go up on their channel?
No, I won't do that. I made that mistake, and I will never do that again. I made that mistake a year and a half ago, and my voice was taken and used on Netflix, and I was given no credit for it. So I'm not doing that again. They got something to say about me. They can come say it to me
on your channel. Yeah,
on my channel.
I feel you on that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't. The queen don't go running when she's summoned. The queen does the summoning. I decide. He's the invisible chicken. And it's perfect because that's what these people are. They're invisible chickens. They sit in the comment section and run their beaks about me. Oh, are you believing Kay's BS? Don't believe Kay's BS. She's so vile. She said this. She doxes. She does this. She does that. She's horrible. And then the minute I come on here and say,
nobody says anything.
Come say that right to me. Come accuse me of what you're accusing me of right to me. You want to talk about all this crap that's this put out there, shit from 2014, shit from 2012, soap opera characters I said shit about. Come talk to me. Come right here and talk to me. Or
people can commentate on anyone they wish on their channel. They don't need to go on someone else's channel asking permission. If what they say bothers you, you are welcome to commentate about it yourself on your own. But if you want to talk to them about it, if what they say bothers you so much that you wish to discuss it with them, then stop being such a wimp about it. Stop hinting in a passive-aggressive way to discuss this with them. Just ask them to come and speak with you. Chances are they don't need to discuss your words with you when they've already read and heard what you have to say on the matter. But on the off chance that they might have gotten it wrong, if you ask them to come and talk with you, they just might do so.
Right? Can you explain the whole work like the white folks do thing to me, please?
I already explained it, but I'll do it again for you. Yes, I believe that I didn't used to understand what white privilege meant. I admit I was ignorant to what it meant until I had it explained to me by a very good friend of mine that I worked with. And because I'm like that, right? If I don't understand something or if I feel I'm ignorant about something, I make sure to try to educate myself so that I can decide where I stand on something. It's just part of what I do. So my friend explained it to me, and I won't go into great detail how she explained it to me, but that light bulb went off. I realized exactly what it means. So being white in America does come with a certain amount of privilege. It comes with a certain amount of status, right? We don't know. We don't understand your community as much as we think we do, as much as we might pay lip service to it. We don't, because we don't, and you don't understand ours, I think, in a lot of ways. So it's about reaching across that divide and trying to understand that there's just some things you don't know. And I do understand that Black people do get targeted. You are less likely to get home loans. You are less likely to get hired for a job. You're less likely to be taken seriously. I get that. I get that that's what white privilege means. So when I say that, and it's a very old saying, because I think people have always kind of understood that, at least I think
I've never heard that. I've never heard that saying before.
Old Midwestern, like work like there's several, Google it. There's several different ways of saying it. Get a job like the rest of the decent folk. Get a job like the rest of the get a job. Okay. So when I say white folk, I mean, he's white like me, and he's very privileged. He's smart. He has a high IQ. He's very capable. He's educated. Why doesn't he have a job? Why is he making $22,000 a year and thinking he's going to raise 3 kids on that? He's very privileged to live here in America and to be a white man and to be, I guess, when people would say nice looking. He's got no reason.
According to Kay's post regarding white privilege from less than a year ago, her understanding of white privilege would be a new development. Yet she explains her using the phrase in question as being an old saying, and she even says to go Google it. And also, though it's true that white people don't really understand what it's like to be Black, and we never really will, though we should always try to understand. I'm not quite sure what she means by black people need to understand white people. I mean, what do they need to better understand? Like the hardships of white privilege or of being racist? I mean, I don't know. I think we're pretty well understood by now.
Talking over me. I talk to her mom every day, and her mom doesn't have a problem with what I've said. So I'm sorry that you do. I really
am. Is that the only parent?
I'm not going to tailor.
Is that the only parent? Is that the only parent? Oh, you don't like.
If I was that girl's mom, I would sue your ass for portraying me in such a negative light to the public, for making me sound like such a heartless bitch, and for speaking of my daughter in horrible ways. I definitely would not want you bragging to people that you, of all people, talk to me daily. You only hurt this mother's case.